Russian military forces have achieved a significant and devastating breakthrough in the Dnipropetrovsk region, marking one of the most consequential shifts in the conflict's front line in recent months. After weeks of intense artillery bombardment and aerial sorties, units of the Russian military have pushed through Ukrainian defensive positions that had been considered relatively stable. The breakthrough is centered near the town of Velika Kostromka, a location that had served as a critical linchpin in Ukraine's defensive network in the southeastern part of the country. This advance effectively flanks Ukrainian positions and opens a new pathway for Russian troops to threaten major population centers and logistical routes that were previously beyond immediate reach. The success of this operation is attributed to Russia's overwhelming advantage in artillery shells and its ability to concentrate air power to suppress Ukrainian defenses, a tactic that has become increasingly effective as Ukraine's ammunition stock dwindles. The human cost of this offensive has been described by Ukrainian medical officials as catastrophic. Over the past 72 hours, more than 1,300 Ukrainian soldiers have been killed in the intense fighting that accompanied the Russian push. Field hospitals in the Dnipro area are reported to be overflowing with casualties, stretching medical resources to their absolute breaking point. The number of wounded is estimated to be several times higher than the death toll, creating a crisis for military medics and civilian healthcare providers alike. This single event represents one of the deadliest periods for the Ukrainian armed force since the early stage of the full-scale invasion, underscoring the ferocity of the Russian assault and the critical shortage of defensive material facing Ukrainian troops on the ground. Military analysts examining satellite imagery and geolocated combat footage suggests the Russian operational goal is to create a large-scale encirclement of Ukrainian forces defending the strategically vital city of Pokrovsk. Located further west, Pokrovsk serves as the main logistical and command hub for the entire Ukrainian defense effort in the Donetsk region. Its capture would be a severe strategic blow, potentially collapsing Ukraine's defensive line across a wider area and opening the door for a Russian advance toward the key city of Kramatorsk and Sloviansk. Russian military spokesperson have stated that their forces are now in a position to begin a decisive push on Pokrovsk, with advancing units already putting pressure on the outer village that form the city's first line of defense. The breakthrough in Dnipropetrovsk has immediate consequences for the city of Dnipro itself. As a major industrial metropolis and transportation node, Dnipro has been a cornerstone of Ukraine's war economy and a primary transit point for soldiers and supplies moving to and from the southern and eastern front. With Russian forces now operating from a new, closer direction, the city is coming under increased threat from long-range artillery and missile systems. Local authorities have issued new directives for civilian evacuation from several suburban districts, anticipating a further intensification of shelling. The psychological impact on a city that has been a relative safe haven for displaced persons is profound, generating a new wave of internal displacement. In response to the crisis, the new administration in Washington, led by President Donald Trump, has issued a brief statement through Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt. The statement acknowledged the difficult situation on the battlefield and reiterated the American commitment to supporting Ukraine's rights to self-defense. However, it notably lacked any announcement of immediate new military aid package or a shift in the policy's trajectory that has characterized the early days of this presidency. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is scheduled to speak with European counterparts, but the focus of those discussions appears to be on broader strategic issues rather than an emergency response to the current Russian offensive. This has caused anxiety in Kyiv and European capitals, where there is a growing fear that the window to prevent a major Russian victory is closing rapidly. The Institute for the Study of War, an American think tank that closely monitors the conflict, assessed that the Russian military has committed elements of several divisions to this new offensive, indicating a strategic priority to achieve a major gain before the onset of the autumn mud season, which will slow down vehicular movement. The assessment notes that Ukrainian forces are engaged in a desperate fighting withdrawal, attempting to establish new fallback positions to avoid a complete rout. The success of these efforts will determine whether the Russian advance on Pokrovsk can be slowed or halted. The situation remains extremely fluid, with Russian reconnaissance units actively probing for weaknesses in the new Ukrainian line. That's all for me for today. If you like the video presentation and you would like to follow for more, hit that subscribe and like button now, and we will continue to build this show for you. Thank you to all of you guys who have subscribed. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. I will see you soon. Bye for now.